Robs with the Gucci slides. I hope that still exists to some degree in this current Mousesports team, but more importantly, they'll be starting on the CT side of Mirage. 5 USPs on deck. Normally you would see a smoke and diffuse. They don't even have that. They've gone for the full suit of armor. Everybody's got the Kevlar.
Oh, that's a missed window smoke immediately out of Big, if I'm not mistaken, and that's gonna really hurt their chances here. Acor already doing pretty well. They're pushing Surson. Oh, this is the bomb right here. If Big lose this, I mean, they've already lost so many players at this point. Mousesports have just taken complete control, as a matter of fact. Wow.
I think the bomb's in the cart, top mid, which is very strange. You can shoot that actually.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to pep up because people will line up. You could do, I think you do the top connector smoke from behind that cart bit, so it's somewhat penetrable. But indeed, that is, it's a rare miss from Big, who are one of the, in terms of throwing like smokes and flashes and things, they are one of the sharpest tools in the box. They have more grenades than almost any team.
Yeah.
So it's very strange to see such a common smoke miss.
It could have been blocked, I think. I think one of the Mousesports players could have jumped and hit it with their chest.
Okay.
That's a possibility. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt here.
Marvelous.
Yeah. But looks like it's going to be an A play early on from Big here. So the man that will be tested will be Bemis. And he's been playing really well for Mousesports lately, so interested to see if he can keep up that form as he's challenged underneath the balcony. Starts with one onto Tizian. Acor here to support him, but Xanter has already taken down Bemis, and that should be site control for Big.
Yeah, that offers them a chance. They need to plant this bomb. Oh, one is throwing it to the other, and that's going to cost them an extra man, but they've also taken one, and that is to their benefit. Oh, that's the wrong button, surely, by Xantares, as he looks to plant the bomb on triple. Acor trying to do his best Cadian impression, but not on this occasion. There we go, finally makes it there. 4 HP for Xantares, running out of bullets in the M4 as well. The robots for Big. I love watching him aim as well. It's just absolutely crazy, his mouse control. Well, 2 kills and a bomb plant for Big. That's pretty good, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's the kind of round you're looking for there. I mean, it was a full investment from Big, so they would have loved to win it. But all in all for Mousesports, I mean, they had to throw away an MP9, a Scout, and they kept all 3 M4s that they purchased into this one. So
nice.
they're okay with that. I mean, they're not too unhappy, but they've kind of weathered the storm there on the force fire. Always an important one to win.
That was a clean headshot into CT.
Yeah, but pretty steezy so far for Mousesports. I know you were looking for some hypey stuff, so I think they've done pretty well with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good situation for Mousesports now. The rifles are out for the most part. Rops with the MP9. The MP9 can be pretty handy. Oh my god, that's not where you normally see them. Now what's important, yes, Rops died there, but what's important is that if he chooses to make that play in the underpass, he doesn't buy full grenades and so on, because he's very unlikely to be using them, and there's a fair chance he's going to die. So he's got his Kevlar and the MP9 and nothing else really. And that's an attention to detail that one must make. Dexter now, go for a dry peek. Not sure if he spotted a second player. Maybe he'll hear him with the harassment from Xantares. Now, does he consider that Tizian could be here? He's going to go straight past, and he's going to take one in the ear from Tizian. For a 5 versus 3 for Big, they've got a rifle and an SMG now.
Yeah, there's a chance here for Big. Frozen has to do a lot. He's the only person on this site, but the lineup's there. Frozen with 3 kills and a 4th, as a matter of fact. He does take 1 dink, but Tabson unlikely to be able to retrieve the bomb. Frozen, looking for the ace, is able to find it. Great start from the young star.
That was clean.
Yes.
That was very clean indeed from Frozen. And exactly what they needed, because things were looking ropey for a short time there. Things were looking worrisome, but he was able to fix it for Mousesports before things got too out of hand.
Yeah, that's really important that he was able to stay alive as well. I mean, they kept 3 players alive in that round. Didn't have to upgrade, or 2 players actually, and I mean, that's not great, but at the same time, it's nice that he was able to convert that one. That was a round Big really weren't supposed to be taking away from Mouse. But first gun round here, and it looks like Big are trying to look for some mid control. They already have Surson posted at the top of middle, but he won't be challenged just yet. Acor has his own AWP in play at the moment, but Big, they're really letting Mousesports in this one maybe do the dirty work for them. A passive default thus far, and a little bit of prodding coming out from both teams, but no real significant information gained by either squad just yet. Flash into ramp. Xantarez will look for a challenge. And I mean, you were talking about his aim, James, but every time you're looking at Xantarez, it just feels like his crosshair is in the perfect place, the closest to possibly being on a person.
Yeah, it is. It's just fun to watch his POVs because nobody aims like he does. 45-second mark approaches as grenades are thrown into the A bomb site. We'll see what Tizian has to offer towards B. There's a smoke about to dissipate and 2 players focus in that position, so he may be trying to pull rotation. We can see A-Core falling back very passively on the A bomb site. Smoke up in jungle, and Big may in fact be going for a split of the B bomb site here. So maybe it's Keto we have to keep an eye on to see what he does on the radar as he looks to engage towards jungle. But in the meantime, we can see Frozen by the bench. We've got Dexter playing a bait, so that Molotov will thwart him, forcing him forward to fight. He'll fall to the flames 1-for-1. Keto with the off angle, but A-Core will deliver. Man advantage for Big now as they move into position. A-Core having a look, and again, Searson, he is a beast. He is underrated. He does not get the level of respect that he deserves for the things he does, and maybe we'll see more of that in this series. Bemis having to fall back and hold on to what he has. Big are on the scoreboard.
James, I notice you have an underrated player for nearly every single team. Would you contest that opinion?
I can't be bothered to think about all the teams, but but Alex, I will say that, you know, we have the people at the top in various teams, you know, choose it. You can choose like position, weapon, whatever. A lot of them shine very brightly. Obviously, Simple is a great example.
Yes.
It's hard to see the other planets in Simple's orbit if Simple is the sun here, for example. He's a bloody big sun. He's like VY Canis Majoris. You know, he's not a sun in our galaxy. He's VY Canis Majoris.
And Navi
that's a massive sun.
Yeah, Navi is a very heliocentric team.
Yeah.
They're all moving around him.
Exactly, exactly. And Searson is somebody who, you know, people should be watching, but they're just blinded by the VY Canis Majoris, which is Simple.
Yes.
So definitely, he's a man. Thanks to Mahone as well for his videos on Searson on Mirage on YouTube. You should watch them. You'll see some nice grenades and other things on Mirage from Searson's POV. But yeah, he's an awesome fragger. And again, I think he's somebody who emerged, let's say, in the last year, in terms of like you need to be watching this guy. And I think being in the big system, of course, will certainly complement all those things.
Yeah, it seemed to elevate him.
Yeah, he's one to watch. Although in this round, in this kind of round, you kind of have the hero AWP on A-Core. There are 2 rifles in tow as well, but he's dead now, of course. Bemis and Frozen may be the saving here. They've got 2 rifles to bring into the next round. I don't think they want to throw good money after bad.
That was great awareness by Tizian. The fact that even though Mousesports threw a shallow smoke into the apartments, he still cleared all of his angles out, knew it was possible that Dexter was close. You can see his body right there, as a matter of fact. And just being hyper-aware in those situations. If he dies and Dexter's able to stay alive in apartments, this could have became a really tricky round for Big. But because he was so diligent about his clearing of the apartments, this was pretty cut and dry for Big. Another underrated player. I would say Tizian's the underrated player of Big, if you ask me.
Look at the weapon disposal service here.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice. Making sure that AWP is not going to be rescued anytime soon. So you think Tizian's the underrated player?
Yeah, for sure. For
cool.
Big.
Why? Why, Maui?
He gets a lot of the roles that are just tougher, and if he fails at those roles, then Big looked really bad. But when he succeeds at them, like, if I didn't point out the fact that he got that kill in apartments, for example, it just, you know, it's just 1 kill, but it's actually could be the entire round right there. And so a lot of those positions.
He has the thankless tasks.
Yeah. It doesn't always show up on the scoreboard, or it's maybe just 1 kill here or there. But if he loses control in some of his T-side defaults especially, that could spell trouble for Big. And he rarely does die.
I wonder how Xantarez's German is coming along. We should ask if we get an opportunity later on. So we have the 2 M4A4s saved by Mousesports. Of course, they were not able to rescue the AWP because Big's attention to detail is something to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they are always thorough.
They put the hard work in. You know, they're the grifters. Well, not the grifters, the grinders.
Yeah. They grind these rounds out. They use their utility, even causing misdirection in this round already. You can see that the defense for Mousesports is still pretty spread thin because they don't know what's happening. Because Big, they confuse you. Their tactical approach, their strategy makes it hard to read. And Bemis, he's looking to challenge towards ramp. He has to come up huge. He gets 1, but right on Xantera's tail is Tizian. And that's going to be a 1-for-1, and now Mousesports have lost a lot of control towards this A side.
In they go, and again, it's, well, I don't know if they can rescue that other M4A4, but Frozen's having a look-see. He's going fishing. The money is together with the team, so if they were to lose all the rifles, then it's, you know, not the worst thing in the world. But at this point, oh, well, let's see what they can do. Dexter looking for another one with the USP, and Frozen suggesting he's running away. He's fighting a chase, but Searson will be patient. And maybe losing the rifle there but getting some kills will kind of lessen the pressure later on if Big have to have a rebuy or have a little less money. So there's often more than one correct choice in Counter-Strike, of course. 3 rounds in a row now from Big. Mousesports need to show more than the pistol, and now's the time to do it.
Have to make a stand sooner than later. They will have a decent investment, but Acor is on the scout, and that's something you hate to see for a gun round such as this. Searson challenging the ramp. Acor actually already hitting a tag onto Tapson, who is the sole player towards middle from Big. And he'll be challenged even further as Frozen takes him down now. And finally, Mousesports find a man advantage early on. Bemis, he may be challenged once again towards A. Can he hold on? Silent drop on the ladder. But Xanterez, he's so aware in these situations. When he's the first one out, he has such great crosser placement, and that is a prime example of such. Xanterez holding for the swing, catches Bemis, finds the entry once again, and Robs now at connector is actually standing in front of the Molotov. Big might not be aware of this position. They are not. This is so cheeky from Robs, and he's able to get one and fall back.
Acor still in the short position with the scout, looking for any lurkers, but Big don't quite have the personnel at present. Keto still stuck in the palace, which makes this oh so awkward for Big. It's a trade frag situation as well. Does Antares really find an angle where you can see Rops? Oh my god, he turns around at the right time. Just makes his silhouette even smaller. And then there was Searson, 1 versus 4 with the AWP. 40 seconds on the clock. Got to move away from the point of contention while that smokes up on connector. Too many angles to hold. His barrel of his rifle swinging around as well. Easy for Dexter. AWP collected, and Mousesports win the buy round.
Yeah, really good round for Mousesports there. Started with Acor, that is, finding the tag on taps in top mid. Frozen finishing it off, and everything after that, tit for tat, as Big were trying to enter into that bomb site, just went the way of Mousesports. But all in all, great crossfire setup towards jungle, and when this round really slowed down, it looked like Mousesports were completely in control. So Big will go for their first time out here. They still have money to buy into this one, and they can keep the pressure on.
Ooh, Tabson with the Krieg. What are his intentions with this Krieg, I wonder? He has a forward spawn, as we can, well, as I can see, you will see shortly. So we'll see if he's going for an entry in mid or maybe towards the B apartments. Could be an option as well if he could catch a Mousesports player hopping onto the box, although Mousesports will be more inclined to boost, which is the cleaner, safer way to do it, as we have already seen in this half. Well, he'll be heading towards mid, and he'll have a number of players to engage, it seems. So not a fast peek, but the grenades, and he's in for a nasty surprise. Look at the swing from Bemis. He's stuck by the door, and that door's not going to open for him. Down goes Tabson, but in response, they know there are numbers in mid, so Big will charge into the B bomb site. And there's Dexter with the gun of deletion, holding the angle now as they try and go through the smoke. Real awkward for all concerned, and Molly will force him away, and maybe there's a chance for Big. But it's a 2 versus 4, swinging past the angle, spotting one in market. So many pieces of information for Big, but it's still a really tough situation for them.
Yeah, and there's only a single flash for Big to try to find a favorable fight in this one. So Mouse are going to have to give something to Big if they don't convert this. But really, Big, they're taking their time. They're trying to find a handout here. Mousesports doesn't look too interested in giving that, though. Searson prodding towards Cat. And Acor finds the perfect time to strike. Somehow swings out right when Searson turns, leaving just Keto in the 1v3. And the bomb's kind of in an awkward position on that ledge right there. Should still be able to retrieve it just fine. Nice headshot from Keto. Bemis, though, is able to clean up. Great hold from Dexter on that B site. He was able to stay alive for so long. And that Krieg falling into his hands in the previous round really helped him out during his defense there. So even though the Krieg has been nerfed, it's still really scary when a defending CT has this weapon.
Yeah, and it's very useful on B-bomb sites especially. We see it on Dust 2, cutting people down. We've got a reasonably tight choke point, especially when there are multiple angles for Tees to look at. The Kree can be absolutely devastating. It will continue in the hands of Dexter towards that B-bomb site. We can see Big posting up with the pistols with inclinations towards A. 4 players lined up there. Just the one of Tabson in mid, but he has been made history by Force. Easy kill for Bemis, but somehow Tizzy manages to trade that through a smoke. That's impressive stuff. I think there's a slight gap in that connector smoke. Rops here to trade, of course. Man like Rops on the server, must be noted. Santares is dead. Acor delivering as well, and he's somebody I've called into question before in terms of consistency, so it must be recognized when he is delivering, and he certainly is right now.
Yeah, Lex and Semler both on the desk were talking about how Acor probably needs to be the man to step up for Mousesports to make that jump to maybe an elite team or just a stronger one, top 10 consistently. And he's doing a good job thus far. I feel like Mirage is a map we've seen Acor in particular do very well in other Flashpoints. And right now he is continuing to deliver despite this being Big's map pick. Now Rops, great movement to get out towards mid. He's standing in the top mid smoke. This is so sneaky. Rops, is he going to get a flash or is he just going to wait for it to dissipate? We'll see in just a moment here. But Surson is pushing right by him. Rops, oh, the flash is there. Is he going to be peeking just yet? Lets it fade, and right then and there, he's ready. There was another flash to support him in that moment, and Rops actually doubles up, taking down Tabson as well. It is a massacre across the map, and Big is falling.
Dexter with a classic angle on the wooden boxes. Really hard to see a player there, even if you peek it, you kind of have to pre-fire it. Zantara is now left in a 1 versus 4 with the bomb top mid. We'll see what he chooses to do. He is being pursued to some degree. Mousesports aren't going to press W too much. He is a very dangerous player, and he has a lot of time on the clock, and that must be respected. You can see Bemis now with most of his teammates towards the B-bomb site. Will be the information man to head towards ramp. Of course, Palace is a question mark if Mousesports don't realize that the bomb is still top mid. Seems to be behind the boxes, and Bemis continues his journey. It's nice to see the angle clearing from Zantares, actually. I'd love to just watch that at this point, just to see how a pro clears the angles. He may make it into connector before Bemis makes it towards top mid. It's going to be a close one. Oh! Surely he's been seen now. I think he has. And there we go. A burst and a spray from Bemis. And that is 7 rounds on the board for Mousesports.
What a tricky play towards middle there for Mousesports. I mean, Rops hiding in the smoke, the flash to support him from Dexter, Acor still holding the line to support Rops as well. Everything went so well for Mousesports in their mid-hold there. And that's something that if you can take that away from Big, it really limits their playbook. So you understand why Mousesports have been wanting to do that the last couple of gun rounds, either sending Bemis up top mid with some support flashes or Rops making a tricky play such as that. It's really good initiative that we're seeing out of Mousesports thus far. Taking the fight right to Big. Rops, he's positioned again towards middle here. There's not as much support for him this time around, though. He can get crunched by underpass fairly easily, so we'll see if anybody is there to help him. Good flash, but it actually doesn't blind Rops just yet. Now Acor has finally arrived in the nick of time, and they will be able to clean up these pistol players.
Tizian now left to the Deagle to try and do some damage. Such a strong CT side from Mousesports. Not everybody has the luxury of getting a strong CT side. You've got to respect that bunny hopping as well. I have to note that. I'm a spacebar jumper. I'm stubborn. So I respect that. It's
weird. You're a spacebar jumper, but you use jump binds for nades, right?
It took me a long. I'm British, right? There's like the British sportsmanship thing, the stiff upper lip. I'm like, no, this is not the way to do it. I refuse to do this, and eventually I was like, all right, competitive edge. I need to do this, but yeah. I just can't be bothered to get used to the mouse wheel, and I don't want those bugs, which we'll talk about later on, with mouse wheels where you jump by accident at times when you really don't need to. Acor continues. He starts as he means to go on in this round. Mousesports looking for number 9. The execute is huge, but the Molotovs are below the window. That's been long become a long become an important incendiary for the CT side when he executes on the way, and it is an execution as far as Big are concerned. On the receiving end of it, the firing squad of Mousesports is here. 1 kill, barely on the bomb site, barely made it out of the apartments, and barely have a competitive scoreline.
Mousesports at this point have pretty much choked out every option from Big Clan, so this is not looking good on the German side. Good flick there.
Carino.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. Oh man, Acor is really quick with it right now.
Yeah, he is.
That's a scary sign if you're Big.
Exactly. It's notable.
That's going to bode well for Mousesports moving forward for sure. But at this point, it really feels like Mouse have stopped the mid plays. They've stopped a B exec. Bemis has been pretty solid at A thus far, so Big are kind of running out of options. They're going to have to try something that has failed prior to this and hope that it just works a second time, which seems like insanity, but it's really all they have left.
CD Incendiary. Oh, hold on a second. Xantares giving his team a chance. He made some space at least for Searson, but he's got to be careful. He's alone on the A bomb site with the bomb, which he's shown while the rest of his team try and push B, which is a very strange situation. I think maybe just a natural reaction kicked in to try and trade frag. His teammate made space for him, but again, they showed the bomb towards A, with the rest of the team towards B, and because he's alone with the bomb, he's got to fall back after that quick shot. So that was a very awkward round from Big, and not a good sign, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a little bit jumbled from Big there. It feels like they wanted to go for a fake of sorts to try to bait some kind of rotation, but as soon as Xantares got that, both players, himself and Searson, swinging from Palace and really giving up the whole plan in that one. But Big, they still have an opportunity to make this a more respectable half here. A nice buy from them. And Rops, once again, so consistent with the movement. And Acor, through the smoke completely, takes down Keto, but it's a double op setup at middle. Rops has his own AWP, and the run boost will come out. And it doesn't look like he's actually going to hit that one, but Tizian gets the kill on a Frozen, actually. But still, these ops from Mousesports are just tearing apart any attempt at mid control from Big. And there's no presence towards mid anymore. They've taken out that threat entirely, the Mousesports side.
On older teams, Acor specifically on Mirage would sometimes go missing, so this really is great to see. 15 for 6, Acor. Looking for his 3rd kill of the round. Patient and disciplined. Flashbang for his teammates to swing. Easily seen, but not easily dealt with. Xantares is a goner. Tizian, a smoke to create some space, but what an awkward position for one of your 2 remaining plays to be in. Big flashbang, but no swing for Acor. It's towards jungle, where Tabson will tap Rops. 2 versus 2. No more utility for Big. Bomb is planted, angles being held, but boy, is this awkward. Great peek from Tabson, and there's a 2 versus 1. They've done it. 4 rounds on the board for Big.
That was a 2v4. That's a huge win for Big. Those kind of rounds, I mean, they feel like they're not necessarily replicable, but at the same time, sometimes you just need the confidence. You need the morale boost from your team because they've been getting picked apart pretty much across the map. So to see Tizian and Tabson leading by example in that situation, that's everything for Big. They have a chance now to basically build some momentum moving into the second half, hopefully winning this round here to start.
Last round of the half. Mousesports have everything they want, and it's 2 AWPs once again. This time it's Frozen in a short position.
Oh,
Acor, what are you doing? The man's died a hero. They'll name a street after him. And advantage for Mousesports doubled now by Frozen again in the short position.
This is oppressive at mid. This is just so difficult if you're Big. Tizian tries to sneak out, but they recognize that, and it leaves Xantares 1v3 here. I mean, we know this guy is deadly, but it's tough in these kinds of situations. No utility left. So many positions that his opponents can be in, and unless he's just handed something at this point, I can't really see a world in which he's able to take this. But he still has a lot of time, and there is only a single player on this B bomb site. Dexter will be jump spotting, but he has a smoke and a nade, which can slow down Xantares even if he gets spotted there. And it does look like that is what he is keying up to do. Of course, Xantares clears every single angle. And there we go. The spot is there. Dexter running away. Great nade.
God.
Wow. Just dunks on him there. Even a smoke to slow down this push even more. And Dexter's on top of the trash can right now. Xantares will try to take this fight towards Rops. Knows this is a possibility, but at this point, every angle has been taken care of, and Mousesports take 11 in the first half.
A pillow over the face. Big starved of oxygen by Mousesports. We'll see if they can fight their way out after the break. And we are back. 11 rounds for Mousesports on the CT side. Oh yes,
It's go time.
marvelous. I'm so happy with that. I'm super pleased. I want it on my desk.
Yeah, it's so sweet. If anybody watches my YouTube stuff, I mean, I got a Supreme Kermit deck behind me pretty much all the time in all the content I make, and everything they do is just so fun. Like,
Yeah.
I know people can riff on the brand because maybe they don't like the shirts or it's too expensive or something, but the accessory game from Supreme is it's appreciated for
Yeah.
sure.
They just released a Smeg mini fridge,
Like again, like what is that?
which is cool. Yeah, some of it's awesome. I like to. There's actually we have the brick in the blind spot.
Mm-hmm.
Supreme brick. I had to buy it because it's just hilarious. It's just ridiculous. And I thought if it's gonna trigger somebody, I'm definitely gonna buy it. So. But this is like I love that. I am over the moon with that because I love timepieces, right?
Yeah, of course.
So
Your watch affinity is noted by
that's
many.
my desk clock now. So I'm super happy with that. And I got this little plant from Targets. I wanted to jazz up the commentary desk, all these cables and lights and so on. Let's get something nice on there.
Every player from Hyenas pretty much had a house plant. Do you notice that in their webcams?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
but that's good.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
Yeah.
It forces people outside. Go and find something nice.
Yeah, the Danes, they really care about their interior design, the layout of their room.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Mine's pure function. My room looks like a warehouse. It's just shelves of drone things.
Yeah.
So here we go. Big have it all to do. Citizen 5 for 12 may find comfort on this CT side now. Not to call his score out because it's not really unlike any of the others on his team. It was a very difficult half of Counter-Strike for them.
Oh. Starting off aggressive here, Tizian moves on forward. Will he catch Acor? Oh, crouching into that angle makes that easy for Acor to line things up, though. But there are still 2 players here from Big at B. So Mousesports, they're taking their time with this one, and they're going to try to figure out if the entire play is towards... Is Xantrez just making the same push again?
Pop flash.
Oh, okay, all right. That's a way to start things off. But a great trade from Frozen. Mousesports were ready for that. The reaction was there, and Mousesports caught it.
That's surely a big clue for now. But again, there's 1 minute on the clock, so Mousesports have the luxury of the map. They could go wherever they want. And it seems it will be a play into the B bomb site. Mousesports still with 2 flashbangs in the hole. This is a very drawn-out pistol round. And you don't see them happen like this too often, but it's great when they do. Very, very interesting. You can see Tabson dropping a smoke to create some space and gets a free kill onto Bemis, who goes to the point of no return. Exposed himself there with no checks. Keto and Searson, though, have it all to do. They've got to make their way through this choke point of market. We can see Rops holding an angle. That's a great headshot from him. Searson now 1 versus 3. Not sure if there's a kit on the site. Rops has changed his position up. Frozen will peek instead. Nice peek and a big headshot from him. Mousesports, a well-oiled machine on Mirage.
You know, a lot of people don't love pistol rounds, but that was fun to watch. That was really cool. Just the clashing of minds between both teams in that one. The hold from Mousesports, the push from Big, the re-push from Big, and how Mousesports just seem ready for it. You just don't see pistol rounds like that very often anymore. Usually it's just a set piece by the T side, and the CTs just have to try to either catch them or retake at that point. But that was something different. That was fresh. I enjoyed it quite a bit. We'll see if Mousesports, though, are able to keep it looking good here as they try to convert, win that second round, and not give Big too much, as Big have fully invested. But this is a scary round nonetheless. These Deagles just seem so strong nowadays, especially when they're supported by a scout of Searson. If everybody's just looking for body shots in this one, it can be pretty treacherous moving through any territory.
Tabson cut down. This is a round that Big have invested in, so they are on slippery ground here, because we're looking at a 14-4 scoreline should Big lose this. They'll have to eco in the next round. It's almost a given, almost.
Late mid-take for Mousesports here. And it looks like Big have read this. They've already got all 4 of their players fairly close to B at this point. And Mousesports, yeah, they are going to commit here. Dink comes out on Dexter. Nice shot from Rops. Another by Bemis. Now Xantrez has a chance to do something. 2 kills for him. And it's just Searson, but Rops is too hot with it. 4K from him. And ensures that Mousesports will convert after that pistol.
Man like Rops on the server. Big, they were pushing into B with good time. There wasn't bomb plant pressure just yet. They had the time to clear out the assailants, but that was a lot of kills from Big. That 2K from Santara is really important. It takes a lot of money away from Mousesports, but again, they would be too concerned with that. We are looking at a 14-4 scenario. Now, will Big hold or will they push? See Tabson holding a pop flash, should it be required? But they are on the wrong side of the map. Once they realize that, I wonder if they will try to steal something away, or just hide as people sometimes do. I mean, at this point, they need everything they can get. If they can pick up a rifle or something, that would be a nice bonus for them.
Yeah,
They'll give it a go.
Imagine that the only Mousesports players that are going to be hunting will be Bemis and Dexter. It looks like Bemis at this point is waiting for maybe a support flash, or he'll just catch them as they run on in. He's going to be calling the cash. $600 for each kill. Nice 1,800 that he can pocket here. Make it 2,400.
Semler would be very happy with this.
Yes, yes.
He loves some bonus money with an SMG.
Yeah, you really don't like seeing the op just farm the kills, actually. I mean, even though you want to get the kills, you don't want to die, but it is nice to see a team take care of their economy as such. Keto, though, will actually be able to find a consolation prize in the form of Galil. But there are so many rounds now that Big have to win in order to make this an even match.
All rounds, more or less.
Tizian's given the Galil. Underrated, by the way.
So it is worth noting that Mousesports have successfully won both pistol rounds and consecutive rounds. So they have been untested, unchallenged. Well, they've been tested and challenged, but they've passed it. So ignore everything I just said.
With flying colors at that.
Yeah, really, really so. They have a very promising situation, and all that hyping of Searson, I don't know how much we're going to get to see of it. Goes deep, but wonders maybe he fears a potential two-man swing. You can see he's lined up for a swing, and he will land a shot onto Frozen. So I think he had a good read as to what might be happening there, but here comes the MAC-10 once again. And they won't spot the second player, but surely Xantares will hear him, and that means that A-Core is doomed. Looking towards A, and now there are problems towards B, which is where Mousesports are poised to head. Smoke grenade to create some space that would allow them to go past the window. And with that smoke, look at the response from Big. They'll go down a ramp to get the information, keep the players in the right direction. Xantares slips away from view just in time. And the Big expedition is on. Got the helmets on.
Oh. That opens things up. Oh, he won't expect the second player there. That's probably the round right then and there, but Rops is gaining some space. If he's able to take away a couple of guns, Mousesports should be buying into the next round anyway, so that would be nice, but oh, Xantares, timing. That is really unfortunate if you are Rops there. Good hold from Big, though. They were able to understand all the little pockets of aggression that Mousesports were trying to create, and Big found the counter in every single situation. The play from Searson towards the apartments, and then even the stop towards the cat aggression between Xantares and Tabson. All in all, a very solid round to kickstart the CT side of Big. They're going to need a lot more where that came from.
Yeah, and this is a huge buy for both squads. So there will be a test for Big in this round. Well, that HE could be a chunky boy, but Rops will punish the throw of the grenade. Keto can't get enough bullets out in time. Great awareness from Rops. The play was made for him. He just stepped up to the plate, scored a home run.
Rops has been really hot in defaults lately. I have really noticed that about his play, that he will take the initiative if he finds there to be openings, something that he probably didn't do as much as he could have in 2018, 2019, but he definitely stepped it up in terms of pace for his game. But we'll see if Big are able to hold this fast hit towards A. Tabson's able to take down 2 from the stairs, looking for more. The opposing IGL and Dexter takes him down. Now A-Core lurking towards middle with the op right now may get caught off guard. This is so smart from Tizian, and now it's a 2-on-2 situation. Bomb was planted by Triple. Searson tells Mouse where he is, but he's not able to find anything for it.
They have double incendiaries. They could try to deploy something before that smoke disappears. Uh-oh, Dexter, you appear to be on fire. He's been extinguished from the situation. And that leaves Frozen. He's looking for the round-winning play here. He'll be very patient indeed. He spots Tizian crossing, and he never makes it close to the bomb. Frozen slipping away, coming out like Batman, and here it is. Game point for Mousesports.
So risky to do that in that kind of situation. I mean, if Keto's able to get behind Triple, I mean, there's almost no hope for Frozen at that point, but he finds the timing. It's just there, and great job from Mouse to convert this one. Really solid play from Frozen there. If he didn't swing there on CT immediately, though, you can see how necessary it was for him to find that one, and he delivered in that moment.
Goes from bad to worse for Big. I'm sure they'll feel like they never got a chance to get going in this game of Mirage. It was their pick. And Mousesports decided that they would tell all the pages, every page of this story. But you never know. Big are still on the server. The game's not over just yet. So perhaps they can take the book back. And the quill.
A little bit of early aggression from Big. It's been difficult for them to try to find where they need to push in order to take the proper space, but this is such a grimy angle from Bemis. Yep. If Searson steps forward just a little bit more, he'll get caught. He won't even expect Bemis to be on top, so if Bemis pushes forward at this point, he'll get a freebie on to the opposing team's Opper as well. And
they're being massively baited on purpose here. Oh, instant frag. Leading them into a false sense of security. He wants them to go and check the ramp. 2 plays towards A at the beginning of the round suggests where the play will ultimately lead. A trap set for Big.
Oh, this is so tough for Big. Entire bomb site given up. I mean, unless Keto has a massive hold here at Stairs, but he's smoked off of the angle. Good counter smoke, though, coming out from Tapson, but Acor reads right between the lines. Robs takes down Keto, trying to make a desperation play in a sandwich, and Xantarez as well, trying to play around that smoke that his teammate threw, leaves just Tizian in the 1v4, and it doesn't look like he's long for this world. As Frozen has keyed in onto his angle, 16-5, and Mousesports take the pick of Big.
That is what domination looks like. A completely one-sided affair. Mousesports in control from start to finish, from side to side. And no matter how you look at it, no matter how you measure it, that was all Mousesports. Big, that's a shock for them, and they're going to have to do things the hard way. They never got started, never got any momentum in that one, and it was a devastating performance from Acor as well, which is what we've been looking for. Thoughts on the desk after the break.